Ko te reo te Māori o te mana Māori, ko te mana o te reo te Māori o te wiki o te reo Māori, kia mā hora ai te mana o tō tātou reo rangatira. Welcome to Maka with me, Mihingarangi Forbes, brought to you by Te Māngai Pāho and Irirangi Te Motu, New Zealand on Air. The latest RNZ Reid Research poll shows Te Pāti Māori's hold on the Māori seats could decide who forms the next government. The numbers point to a deadlocked parliament, Labour just ahead of National, but neither bloc is able to govern alone. If Te Pāti Māori keeps all 6 seats, the overhang creates a 61-60 split, favouring the left. But following its resounding win in Tāmaki Makaurau, Te Pāti Māori has courted controversy, including blacklisting certain Māori journalists and MP Tākuta Ferris doubling down on racially divisive social media posts. Kāti, ko te pātai nui, he āwhā ki uta, he āwhā ki tai rānei. To answer that question, we had planned to interview Te Pāti Māori's President John Tamihere, but yesterday we were informed he would no longer be available. Tēnā, hei hora atu I o rātou whakaro mō tēnei take, kua piri mai nei a Carmen Parahi, mātanga kawe kōrero, rawa ko te mātanga tōranga pū a Shane Te Pou. Tēnā kōrua. As it's Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori, can I begin by asking you both who has been a favourite kaiako reo and why? Carmen.
Weirdly, Te Herenga Waka Marae. So I actually went overseas at 18 for a 1-year gap year. 8 years later, after visiting places in Europe, I came home. Terrible Te Reo Māori pronunciation. My flatmate at the time when I started at Vic, he used to laugh at me. And in fits of laughter when I used to try and learn Te Reo Māori. But Te Herenga Waka Marae, I spent a lot of time there and everyone there, that's where my strength and love for Te Reo Māori came.
E mihi ana kia koutou Te Herenga Waka. Shane,
Kia ora.
he koe.
When I got this question last night, I felt quite embarrassed and ashamed and a bit sad that I didn't take advantage because I had some great kaiako. People that are actually some of them are actually, most of them are passed on, but really awesome people like Pretty Little Bird from Ngāti Manawa, Pen Bird's brother, Charlie Berryman, Manu Cletus Paul, Ngāpo Wihi when I first moved up here to Tāmaki Makaurau, Jim Perry. Here's the problem. Instead of te reo, we often just talk politics and the struggle and all sorts of other things. But it was a great learning time. And I've, in terms of the modern age, I just want to tautoko and send our support to our te reo teachers, not only in Kurakaupapa, but in mainstream school. My boy went to Auckland Boys, Matua Love, change the dynamics in the school and will have a massive influence over thousands of boys and their lives.
Rangatira kato era tangata, era kaiako. And Shane, isn't it beautiful that today we actually do political podcasts in the reo?
I know.
So, that's what's changed in those generations. Toko maha oku e te mata kia RN pewhairangi au I te kura. Ringi okero, Peti Waia, Manawaiti, Boirangi Hau, Moari Stafford and everyone in the TVNZ Māori programs. E mihi ana tōku ngākau kia rātou katoa.
Kia ora.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about politics and a bit of bilingualism.
Yes.
Well, it should have been a good week for Te Pāti Māori last week, following the impressive win by your whanaunga o Reni Kaipara in the Tāmaki Makaurau election. But instead, Tākuta Ferris, your whanaunga, Carmen, posts criticising Peni Henare's multi-ethnic volunteers hit the headlines. Party President John Tamihere flew into the capital on Tuesday for caucus. Some might have expected him to cool it all down, but instead he told Wātea that he agreed with the substance of Tākuta's comments. What's the substance, Shane, and what is he supporting?
I don't know. I don't think it's substantial at all. I think it's very naive. And the other thing is that what we need to learn is just because you look at somebody, that doesn't mean that they don't have whakapapa you know my kids, you know what they look like. They have whakapapa, they're very proud of it. And the other thing is that I think it lacks a real analysis. This is a time where we need our allies. These people are not our enemies. They oppose this government. They oppose the direction of this government, and we need to build a unity. I think that tangata treaty are a very important component of what we need in terms of our advancement. And the other thing is I've got a little bit of age on my side, and I know, and I remember in the 70s, who were there supporting us in Takaparawa? It was our Pacifica sisters and brothers, and those alliances are long and strong, and I think Doc just got it fundamentally wrong, and I just think he showed a little bit of political naivety and probably just overtly whakahihi.
Does he have a point, Carmen? I guess the essence of his kōrero is that the Māori seats should be for Māori, tangata Māori and Pāti Māori. Your thoughts?
That's political rhetoric, so that's what they always stand for, Te Pāti Māori. And that's the catch cry that they have to get people to vote for Te Pāti Māori. It's the Māori electorates. It is for Māori and has been since the late 1800s. I disagree with pointing out our multicultural brothers and sisters because of all the work I did with Pōtiaki, which was focused on our people and improving the representation of our people and all marginalised communities. And we cannot sideline tangata tiriti. They are our allies, and what we always know is te tiriti, te reo Māori, is for all New Zealanders. But those seats, yes, fundamentally, they are Māori seats for Māori. But does that stop people from supporting Māori in those Māori seats? I don't think so.
Yeah. When Dame Tariana and Tāpita announced the original list, party list in 2005, they actively recruited Pākehā, Pacifica and Tauiwi. Perhaps the party has moved away from that. Is that what you're hearing?
Strange, because what I loved about them is that they would work with anyone, and we know Peter Sharples worked tirelessly to actually build relationships with China. That China trade deal a lot of that has got to do with the work that he did. And so they showed that Te Pāti Māori can work with others. But I actually think, why wouldn't you work to include Te Pāti Māori in general electorate seats, which they try to do in the past, and I think it'd be a great idea to put the wobbles in everyone and actually say, hey, we have got all these people that we want to put in the general electorate seats for Te Pāti Māori. Vice versa, I think NZ First, National and ACT should also stand Māori candidates in the Māori seats, because that will then disrupt that dialogue, that narrative that Te Pāti Māori has continued to voice, which is, we are the only Māori party. It's not true. Māori are all types of people. We are not one thing, and we need to stop we need to stop homogenising us.
It's been done before. Māori, other Māori in the seats, running in those seats. Me hoki anō ki taua take. Earlier, co-leader Debbie Ngāri-Wapeka had apologised and said the comments didn't represent the party. He tōtara wāhirua, a split tōtara tree is easy prey for the axe. Mixed messages dangerous for a political party?
Oh, I think they are dangerous, but also I think when you've got a smaller party and you've got people that don't really have a national-wide responsibility, once in a while they want to have their say, they want to sort of stand out, and I think that's what Doc was trying to do. Perhaps he just felt a little bit left out, and I think by and large this will be forgotten, and we'll move on, and also the rift between Labour and Te Pāti Māori will move on, because the reality is that if you're going to have a change of government, you're going to have the Greens, you're going to have Te Pāti Māori in some shape or form, or you're going to have to have Labour, and that's the eyes of the prize that they should be cast upon.
It has put pressure on the idea of a left bloc that you discussed before. And actually, I got a bit of audio here from Labour leader Chris Hipkins about those comments to RNZ earlier in the week.
I've made my view very clear to them that we will not accept or tolerate that kind of sentiment. It is not in keeping with the Labour Party's values or the type of government we want to lead.
Carmen, what do you make of the Labour Party's position on this?
I'm with Shane. Everyone will forget this in a few months' time as they all start to wrangle and make their backroom deals, which is going to be fascinating this time. Don't forget, though, Labour could also work with New Zealand First. It doesn't have to be a total left bloc. And so it is...
Not under Winston Peters. I think he made that announcement again this morning in Wātea.
Did he say with Labour, or did he say under the current leadership?
Yeah.
Under the current leadership.
Yeah.
So Winston always gives himself a bit of outline.
Yeah.
Shane, some have found those comments by Chris Hipkins paternalistic and suggested that maybe the left bloc could adopt the agree to disagree policy like the right bloc has. When it comes to core ideas, what are your thoughts about
I think that probably will happen in the fullness of time, but this really is about trying to win as much vote and support as we lead up to the election. With the notion of sort of experience, I've heard some terrible things being said by politicians, and then, they're in coalition. I think Jim Anderson said something of the nature, and forgive me if I'm wrong, Jim, and you're up there listening to me, but he talked about, that he felt violence towards Helen Clark, and they were a very successful team. Winston Peters and David Seymour have said terrible things about each other. People go out, they do their best, they get the most votes they can, and then they negotiate the deal.
Yeah.
Carmen, when you speak to Te Pāti Māori supporters and voters, are they looking to change the government with their votes or support a party regardless?
Both. So I do understand what they're trying to do. So it's about systemic change. It's about helping people, voters, to understand how to vote as well, and to let them know that there is a Māori party, so to speak. And so our young people, they love that. They're really into that message. And so, but are they the voters? Tāmaki Makaurau couldn't even get over 30% in the by-election. I did wonder whether Tākuta's message end of voting was going to harm Orini's chances. It didn't, fortunately. And then he doubled down after she got in. So it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out. Remember, Te Pāti Māori, though, they've always had dissent, right? So Hore Harawira walked. So all parties, they've had people that have walked to the left, to the right. And so it's going to be a really interesting dynamic amongst all of the MPs.
Carmen made a good point there that Tākuta posted a couple of days beforehand and then posted again and actually really taken the spotlight away from the newest MP, Orini Kaipara, who won the Tāmaki Makaurau seat convincingly.
Yes.
Is it a lost opportunity for positive news for Te Pāti Māori?
I think it was actually. I think it was actually imposing upon Orini's space. That was a heck of a win. She crushed Pene. I know that the turnout was low. I thought that would have benefited Labour, but it didn't. Quite the opposite. And I think it really just shows that sometimes in politics you do need to do discipline, and you do need to sort of play a longer game. Because here's the thing. If Te Pāti Māori and Labour are smart, they could come to some sort of arrangement. Doesn't need to be a public arrangement, and this could be the outcome. The outcome could be Te Pāti Māori winning 6 or 7 of the seats, getting their party vote up a bit higher. And guess what that leads to? It leads to a hangover. It leads to 1 or 2 more parliamentarians coming from Labour into Pāti Māori, and gives them a greater chance of being in government. So, just sometimes you just got to box smart, box clever, and you've got to really focus on what you want in terms of the outcome. And I think what Te Pāti Māori and Labour and the Greens and the people that are herding out there agree is that our people, particularly Māori, are under attack, and they want to change this government.
Over at TVNZ last weekend, it seems media manager Kiri Tamihere was avoiding letting one of their reporters speak to Orini following her appearance on the Marae programme. Before we go into questions, let's have a listen to that.
One News was denied entry by Te Pāti Māori to Oreni Kaipara's election night event. Other journalists also struggled to gain access.
I think they should have more of an open door policy. I mean, they don't just ban you, Lloyd, they ban the Maoris too.
Today, inside the TVNZ building, after her interview on Marae,
Congratulations, Oreni.
Thank you.
You don't want to do an interview.
We'll have a kōrero. We can have a kōrero.
Well, how come we can't talk to Oreni?
more refusals.
She's the incoming MP for Tāmaki Makaurau. Why not front today?
We did with our Māori entity. So the things that you need to get today, you can get off marae.
Is that position a fair one, that they can speak to whoever they want, and should MPs be available to all media, Carmen?
I'm a bit divided on this. So parties can do whatever they want. Is it very good PR, or is it very good for their voters? Maybe not. But again, I think they are trying to change the system and really focus on mana Māori motuhake, which is very important to our people at the moment. And what does that look like? The problem with systemic change, it takes time. So who are you going to sacrifice in that time to create change in those seats or across general seats and in the electoral system and Parliament? Because they're also trying to change how Parliament operates. But what we forget that historically Parliament has been changing. It constantly changes. Yes, there are fixed kawa in Parliament that actually they don't agree to, other MPs don't agree to and don't like doing, and they're quite ridiculous sometimes, some of these, the way they do things. But it is their tikanga, right?
You said you were divided, so what's the flip side of that? Because when you're just picking and choosing the media that you want to talk to, how does the media hold those in power to account?
Where else are we going to get our messages from? So how do we know what you stand for if you're not going to talk to the media? Because posting up a live on Facebook with your dad is not going to cut it, right? So that is not going to get to the voters that you need. So who is your audience? What are the channels you are using? What's the messages that you're trying to put out there? Because their messages are mixed. I understand what they stand for, but policy, what are you actually going to do for our people other than say mana Māori mo te hake? Our people are really struggling. This cost of living crisis is ridiculous. It is hurting so many people. It is so... I go into the supermarket and I really struggle. Luckily, I'm on a health kick and I don't have to buy as much food.
Shane, back to that position there with the Māori Party, stipulating that they only want to speak with Māori media. The issue here is that, the political editor is Maiki Sherman, who is a raukura. She is a graduate of Kura Kaupapa Māori. This was the dream, to put our raukura into positions or, pepper them more through society. What do you make of the position of the media ban?
I think that it was naive. I think it was mean-spirited, actually. I think that our Māori reporters, we may not all agree with them, and nor should we, but to not talk to Yvonne Tahana, who was one of the most high-profile Māori journalists out there, I think was really unfair. And you know what? The other thing is, people like Yvonne, and you would have seen it many, many times, Mihi, and it still goes on today. They get abused by non-Māori in a very violent, fundamental way. And for our own people to say, we're not going to talk to you, I just think is not acceptable. And it just sets a very bad precedent. As I said, there are Māori reporters that I agree with, I disagree with, but I would want to engage them more because they're doing a job for all of us.
And that's a really good point you both raise, actually, is that if you say you are mana Māori mo te hake, then why are you not supporting all Māori in all places and spaces?
You mentioned the cost of living there, so let's talk about the RNZ Reid Research poll. It asked voters about the current struggling economy, and it found the latest data it found that the poll, that more voters now hold this current government responsible. And just some facts. So Stats NZ has found that food prices are up 5%, fruit and veggies are up 9%, cheese 14%, milk 15%, and electricity over 11% now. So 37.6% blame this government, 30% blame the previous, 23% blame both. What are you hearing out there from Māori about the current climate?
They're struggling. And the problem with the cost of living those prices is that they keep rising and rising. So it's constantly rising. And it's not just a one-off after 5 years. It's like constantly rising. So it is really, really challenging to live here and to work here and actually provide for your whānau. One thing we also know, this government has not given us a cost of living index for a year. So we actually haven't seen the numbers for a year because they've stalled twice to give us the number. Why are they doing that? Because they're shifting the numbers. They said they're shifting the numbers as well. They're changing the way they do their reporting. It's taken a year. They're hiding the numbers.
Are they, Shane, or is this just expected mid-cycle?
No, no, it's normally not expected mid-cycle. It's highly unusual to have a government that was elected with quite a strong mandate and with and a Prime Minister in particular with these sort of numbers. They're sort of unprecedented. And can I tell you that this is really about the choices that they've made where our economy is at. They decided that they wanted to give $17 billion, and I'll say it again for our listeners, to landlords like myself. They wanted to give rebates in effect to big tobaccos in terms of cutting excise duty. So these are the decisions that they've made. I've only been home for a few weeks. There are 3 fundamental industries in Aotearoa New Zealand that are screwed, and I don't see much hope. Construction, hospo, go to your local cafe, your local restaurant, absolutely stuffed. So you've got construction, you've got hospo, and you go down to Wellington public sector. The houses have dropped by 30%. Our people are feeling it. I think New Zealanders are feeling it, but they're voting with their feet, 210 of our brightest and our best are leaving every day to go to Australia and to London. And when I have a kōrero to those people, as I did yesterday to a young Māori dental nurse, who we really need, she said, Matu, I'm not coming back. Why would I come back for lower wages? There's no superannuation plan for me. And if I go and work in Australia, I'll get 12% of my superannuation plan. And in 5 years' time, I'll be able to use that on deposit on a good whare. And, if I was at her age, I'd be packing my bags and I'd be going too.
So GDP today, right? So it'll be so the GDP is expected to be stable. Stable means it hasn't grown and it hasn't tanked completely, but we need it to grow. And this government, this coalition is big on, we will save the economy, bollocks.
Well,
they've done nothing to prove it. We've got weak consumer business.
Is that what the numbers are showing? The RNZ Reid Research poll says Chris Hipkins ahead of Christopher Luxon, but both leaders are recording their lowest approval ratings yet. Yeah. Is the lukewarm reception to Luxon's leadership keeping Hipkins in the role?
Probably, but it's actually not unusual for Leader of Opposition numbers to be relatively low. I think Helen Clark was only like 4 or 5% for that last year up to the election. So I'd be relatively happy with Hipkins' numbers if I was him. And only a year and a half out from the election, there's a fairly decent chance that they could win the Treasury benches. But there's a long way to go in all of this. And let's just see how the Prime Minister is able to handle an increasingly growing, grumpy Winston Peters. And what we do know about Winston is he is a creature of habit. And what does he do? About a year out from the election, he leaves. And they just appointed Shane Jones as the deputy leader.
That. Does that indicate anything?
Yeah, because he said, we've got an election coming up soon, so he's getting ready to rock and roll, and I think he's going to choose what the issue will be, and I think it'll be over energy, and I think that he wants to nationalise the energy sector, which I think most of us will be keen on because electricity prices are just growing and growing and growing, and they are more manageable, and I think he's going to pick his fight, and he's going to do it.
Your response, Carmen?
I am surprised Luxon isn't rolled at the end of this year or the end or start of next year. Who will Who will they choose, though? That is the question. And obviously the top next two will be the ones off. So Bishop and Willis.
Yes. Thoughts on Shane Jones?
Thoughts on Shane Jones, Deputy, that'll be interesting. What I do love is David Seymour and Winston Peters. I love the to and fro, especially around foreign affairs. And I do think that Winston Peters will use that to his advantage.
Favourite, because it's Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori, I want to just end with something very positive. Favourite waiata, or do you have a real wish, Korua? Maui tīmata.
My real wish is all New Zealanders understand Te Reo Māori is their language. It is for them to use forever. From their children to their kuia karaua, it is every New Zealander's language. Love it, use it.
My waiata is an unusual one, out of left field, right field, what do you want to call it, but been spending a bit of time in Europe. And you know the biggest band, Aotearoa band in Europe at the moment? It's called Alien Weaponry. And their genre is thrash metal, and it's all in Te Reo, and they head concerts and seasons with 75,000 people. Unheard of really in Aotearoa, New Zealand. And I only know this because I was wearing an all-black jersey, and this young fella came up to me and said, "You're from New Zealand. My favourite band is from New Zealand." I thought he was talking about Crowded House, but he was talking about Alien Weaponry.
Only someone your age would say Crowded House.
Name a song.
From Te Taitokoro, Tangaroa.
Tangaroa.
There you go.
Ruana Te Whenua. Love that one.
yeah.
Played it to my 11-year-old the other day, and he was like, what is this? And I said, this is Māori heavy metal.
And can I also say that I'm from Kawerau, so anything from John Ross and Te Reo and Troy Kingi. There you go.
Tēnā kōrua, e mihi ana ki a kōrua mō era whakaro nui. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
I te whakarongo tātou kia Shane Te Pou, rawa ko Carmen Parahi. Aha ko e tō haere nei te rā ki tēnei wiki motuhake mō tō tātou reo, kōrerotia tō tātou reo ia te wiki, hāpaitia, whakamanatia. Ka ngaro te reo, ka ngaro tāua, pērā i te ngaro o te moa. Kia kaha te reo Māori. E mihi whakamāno atu nei ki a te Māngai Pāho, me irirangi te motu, nā rāua tēnei hōtaka i tautoko. We'll be back with more mata in a fortnight. No hora mai.